supercomputer for the second connection. She'll talk about it further. I do know that the circuits were ordered. We're still waiting on the date for the actual, as early as this morning before I got here, I was on the phone trying to pinpoint the date down. But Leah, do you know anything further than that?
The last update I included you on yesterday was, as of yesterday morning, the circuits were ordered with Troy Cable and CenturyLink as far as the two carriers go. Hopefully by the end of this week or as early as next week, we'll have a due date from those two carriers when they can actually deliver for install. That's kind of jumping into current day. Do you have any questions as far as backstory on that goes?
Yeah, why hasn't it been done?
That's a really good question. And just to be clear, I'd like to kind of define the state board's role in this project. I hate to say the only reason, the predominant reason that you guys are using ASA is because the state board is playing a role in this. Otherwise, ASA would not do business with a local emergency communications district. They just simply wouldn't. We are serving as the billing mechanism for this project, and it is at a significant cost savings, tens of thousands of dollars for local districts. So we were brought in probably in the spring. I was not aware of all of the issues you guys were having with the 911 call taking equipment vendor that you guys chose, and the correspondence between ASA and the routing issues and the failures and things like that. I was brought into that it was escalated to me a little in the middle of that game, not late in the game. And at that point, we began jumping through hoops to make sure that 911 calls weren't lost, because obviously that's our business. There's a lot of communication that has not funneled through our office, and I simply can't account for that as far as delays that have gone on. I was surprised to find out yesterday morning in anticipation of this meeting and to give an update. I asked for an update last week from ASA about the circuits because I was told that they were ordered earlier last month. They were not. They were ordered yesterday morning.
I personally had a conversation with ASA
Yes, sir.
months and months and months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really very unhappy it's taking this long. I don't know whose fault it is, but ASA, I know without a doubt, was aware of this problem months ago. And we
Oh, it's been,
Yeah, I
had a lot of
And
conversations.
that's the
They
thing,
were.
they're telling us one thing that's not true,
was,
and then they're coming back and having to eat crud and change their story.
on the conference call that we had,
Ray Jacoby?
was there someone with the state board on that
Jason
conference
Jackson
call?
was on that.
Jason Jackson.
Was he with the state board at the time?
Yeah.
Okay. When was this?
This was in,
No, I thought, no, at the time that conference call,
It was-
Jason was with ECW because he started jumping on them and said when he was with state board, so-and-so. So it was after he'd left the state board.
I believe it was. He was not on the board of the board.
It might have-
He was with ECW.
it was right there, I mean,
Was there-
it was, yeah. There wasn't anybody who stayed on the phone call.
So at what point have y'all
Because
got?
at that point, we didn't involve, because it wasn't with them, it wasn't the
was
state's
with the vendor.
issue. This was between us and ASA and ECW.
I was told that somewhere in this mix that the state board didn't want to do it till July because of
No, that was
budget.
ASA.
Yeah, that.
ASA, their pricing was changing July 1. Their ASA, Ray Jacoby's the one that said that they were trying to hold off until July 1 because it was an ASA. Their funding, their amounts were changing. They're just the billing process. All of, they bill them and they pull it out of our annual budget.
Okay. I thought at the last meeting there was an update given on it that something about pricing and that.
That comes from ASA. They're the one that gave the quote.
For just to give a little bit of history for that pricing, ASA had a regular 3-year contract with a company called CSE that they were renegotiating their prices with. It was their recommendation for the districts to wait until the July 1 start of that contract so that, again, you could enjoy some savings there. So
Were they aware of our situation
I believe they were fully aware of their situation, yes.
and still wanted us to wait?
Okay.
I would not like to speak on their behalf, but I think their position would be that you guys had other alternatives to seek for failover or backup options. However, they might be just cost prohibitive, so.
Okay. I'm lost on that.
Yeah.
Because Troy Cable, I have Troy Cable at my office, which is 1 block from Thompson.
The problem with this is my understanding, now I'm not a telco person, but Troy Cable and CenturyLink come in at the same, help me out, Rob, what do you call it?
Pop.
Yeah, they come in at the same place. That's the biggest issue. So they're having to order new circuits so they can come in separately, so we'll have that full redundancy. But we're
And that is an
totally on
exist-
CenturyLink now.
That is an existing setup, a proven setup, and
Right.
probably the most plausible solution as to where to put these two backup connections.
And of all the griping I've done, it just got ordered yesterday.
We weren't told that. We were told, I've got emails
And you were told that it
that
was
the
done,
circuit was already ordered. It was a while back.
you were told it was done a week ago?
Yeah, I believe you said that.
It would have,
Yeah,
no,
I
it
did
would have
see
been
that.
early July when I was told that.
Told that it was
Who
ordered.
told you?
Ray Jacoby.
Ray Jacoby?
Yes, sir.
And he's with Supercomputer?
Yes, sir.
Is that a state agency? Supercomputer, is that a
Yes.
private, it's a state agency? So, he told you the 1st of July,
It was the beginning of July, not
the
the
beginning of
actual
July.
1st of July.
And they were just ordered yesterday.
As of yesterday, his telling to me was that they were ordered yesterday morning. And the explanation that was offered, I will convey this. Whenever they gave the state the quote, which I did have to sign off on as far as the agreement for services, so that we could serve as the billing mechanism on the district's behalf.
That was
And when was that done? Yeah,
That, let's see, I will say this, and I don't know that it really matters, but those quotes were due back, signed to ASA on June 28th or 9th. I did not receive them until after July 4th, after the 4th holiday, which we have corresponded via email to say, you're not gonna get these by the due date because I received them after the due date.
we got that from her. And
Right.
that's when the
I
last
emailed
discussion
Sure,
was about,
sure.
the
But-
minutes reflect that.
But there was probably a week or so maybe that I took the agreements, ran down all the districts, because this does not just impact Dothan, Houston County, it impacts about 12 others. And just to make sure that we're all on the same page, and before we enter into an agreement on their behalf, that was what you all wanted to do. They were returned to them, I know that it was before July 20th. I would have to check to see, but it was July 20th, and we received confirmation that the circuits had been ordered at that time. And they had not. But to convey what the explanation given to me yesterday was, they came back and decided that there was a $400 difference, depending on who you ask, a $100 or a $400 difference in the install. Therefore, the reason the circuits weren't ordered by one division of ASA was because they thought they needed updated agreements. But because it was a reduction in the actual price, they should have already gone and ordered the circuits and should not have held up the project. However, it was kind of a right hand, left hand. They didn't make that communication.
Obvious, they don't know what they're doing, or have no communications. Now,
Well-
I
Well,
want
I'll say this, as far as ASA, they provide the backbone that engine operates off of now, which handles 75–80% of our 911 calls in the state and has successfully since December of 2014. So, while there are some communication lapses, to put it nicely, they are doing a very solid and economically feasible business for the state of Alabama in handling our 911 calls, the majority of our 911 calls.
So where do we go from here?
Specifically with the secondary connection?
Yes.
I have a reminder set on my email to
Okay.
call him up again Friday morning to indeed say, do you have a due date from Troy Cable or CenturyLink? And that'll just be put on repeat until I have confirmation.
Is there anything we can do to speed up the process, or what would be your recommendation that we do? I mean, I think we need that.
I appreciate the offer, but at this point, there have been so many lanes of communications that I'm not certain who's spoken to whom.
Right.
But my escalation at this point, if I don't get a satisfactory answer by Friday, I will escalate to Troy Cable and CenturyLink to see indeed that the order has been placed and go from there.
Thank you.
So,